What is up, everyone? It's your boy Dan from Player 2 Side, and you are watching a new series called 5 Cheap Things, because it's my belief, regardless of how good a character is, good or bad, they always have at least 5 cheap things. Now, obviously, Android 16 is really good in Dragon Ball FighterZ, so he has 5 cheap things. He has even more than 5, but we're just going to cover 5 cheap things that I think are worth mentioning. So I think first we're going to start off with his 5M and his 2M. We're just going to mash those things together. So the reason why I think 5M and 2M are really cheap is because look at the range. That's his 5M. So from a starting match, you can actually get hit with 5M. And of course, you can get hit with 2M as well, because 2M is even farther. Both of these can go into a combo using his 5H from any range. So if I do that's going to work, right? Or if I do oh, actually you might need to jump cancel that. I might be stupid. Yeah. That one, maybe not every range. But for the most part, you can get hit from really far away and get comboed. And that's why that's really, really cheap. Like, look how far this is. Like, this is hella far to be getting hit. You know what I mean? Obviously, when you do get hit, oops, sorry. Obviously, when you do get hit, you get a full combo, and he doesn't exactly hit light, so that's 40%, not including any lights, which would scale it more, and not including any assists, which would actually give it more damage, or any supers for that matter. So, that's pretty cheap. I'd say that's something that's pretty cheap about this character. Next thing I want to talk about is actually his command throw, which is 2, 3, 6, and L. Just the L. The mediums, you know, got some cheap stuff too. This is the medium version. But the L is the more cheap version for a specific reason, which is it's hard knockdown. This is the only hard knockdown in the game that is off a special move where you cannot tech in any direction. Usually in this game, you can tech up, you can tech back, you can delayed tech and stuff like that. You cannot with this. So the reason why that's a big deal is because now he gets a free mix-up. He could go low, for instance. He could do it again, you know. Try to block and want to do it again. Or he can Dragon Rush you for a combo. Right? There's a lot of options, but one of the cheapest options that he has is actually this cross-up. Actually, if I didn't have the S there, I would have hit. But with this, you can instant air dash over your opponent and still combo them. You can combo them with either the light or medium button. Light, I would do light if you want to like switch sides. If you want to go this way, right? I'm gonna, oops. There are some specific ranges that are gonna be a little hard to hit the combo, but pretty much, like that was a little too far. But I know that it works most of the time. I usually just go for mediums. So if you just do medium, medium, 5M, 5M, and then 5H, that's gonna combo. Oops, I'm dumb. Right, so that's 35% off one mix-up, right? And that's with no assist and no super. Obviously, if you add some assist and super with there, you're getting more like 50%. Which is a big deal. That's a lot of damage. And that mix-up, I don't care who you are. If this is online especially, you're not blocking that. That's really hard to see. You just kind of have to guess for the most part. Another really cheap thing about this throw is that that mix-up totally works in the corner. So after I throw you in this corner, and now I throw you back in the corner using the light auto combo. Get this big damage right here. And just like that, you ate a combo, most likely, because most of the time you're not going to get hit with this roll. That's another thing I want to talk about, is that, like, well, in this game there's a lot of jumping, there's a lot of air dashing, there's super dashing and stuff like that. You're not going to get hit with this. You're not going to be standing still. You're right. For the most part, you won't. But there are combos that use... Like, for instance, if I just do a basic bread and butter and spend 1 bar, and just go boom like that, look at that. Look at that. 1 bar, 48%, and now you gotta guess. It is easy to go into this. You can even do it with no bar, with a combo that I'll do right here. There might be a cut here because this combo's kind of difficult. Boom. So that combo is a little bit more difficult because you have to delay the super dash and then air dash after the super dash hits. But you can go into that without having to spend any meter and no assists. So that's pretty cheap because that will always be a threat. You can always go into it. So, and a little side note here, his level 3 actually has the same properties. You can't tech this anyway. And he does get the corner cross-up mix-up, same thing. So the level 3 works just like this command grab here. So if you ever go into the level 3 command grab, you can do the cross-up, air dash setup, and you can get that sick mix-up because they have to wake up the same way every time. So that's tough. That's tough to deal with, for sure, right? That's definitely one of his cheaper things. I'm not sure if it's the cheapest, but it's up there. One more thing I want to talk about, or number 3, I guess we'll call it number 3. Number 3 is actually this. He has no other choice. He has no other option. Ugh. So the reason why this is cheap, besides the obvious thing that it kills you 5 times over, is that this move is actually super reactable to raw super. So if you bait out a raw super with a character like, oops, sorry about that. I was supposed to call someone in. I did not. Oops, my buttons are all messed up. Hold up, my buttons are messed up. Ugh. Nani. Hold on. I have to set all these buttons really weird because I don't have an L3 and R3 button on this stick. Okay. So, yeah, okay. Perfect. Alright, so you can super react to whatever supers. You know what? I'm actually going to call him Goku. So I'm actually going to go to info display. Oops, going to info display. I'm going to have the virtual controller on. I'm going to do a super with Goku. And then I'm going to record the super, and I'm going to do it from here. I'm mashing this out. See that? Boom. And that's a dead Goku. All because you wanted the raw super me from mid-screen. No good. You can't do that. Now, this isn't something that's going to be super cheap at high level, but it's definitely cheap at a lower level on online. Right? So, now I want to get in Gohan. Just to show you that it doesn't matter really what character, or it doesn't matter if it's a level 3 or even a level 5 in this case, because I'm going to hold this button and let that level 5 rock. Boom, right? That's a lot of damage, right? So that could be a problem. But if I'm standing right here, once I see it, I can just start mashing it, and I will armor through that entire thing and kill you. This works on every character with a beam super like that, except Vegeta, because Vegeta's Final Flash is technically airborne. So he will not grab you if you are Vegeta, and you do a raw level 3. Anyone else that has a beam raw level 3, like Cell, Gohan, and anyone else, I'm not sure who else. Anyone that has like a long recovery time, they'll get hit. Now, a character like Trunks, his level 3 is obviously command grab, so that won't do anything. But his level 1 is the burning attack, right? That, even if I react to it... Oops, that was weird. Oh, it's because I gotta reset it, my bad. Okay, so even if I react to it, he has time to jump out of that. He can get away from that. Will he? That's dependent on the player. But you can totally get away from that. That's not free by any means. So, that, I would say, is pretty cheap for online. That's number 3. Next, I actually want to talk about... I'm going to get rid of this info. Next, I actually want to talk about his assist. The reason why I want to talk about assist is for actually a few reasons. So, one, his assist comes out in front. Why is that important? Is because if a character, say, air dashes at you or tries to, key blast you or whatever, your assist is going to get hit before you do. So you are actually a bit safer standing behind the wall of 16, right? So that's pretty cool. That's not a huge reason that it's cheap, because if you look at Goku assist, obviously he comes up behind me. Most assists are going to come out behind you, with the exception of the Gohan assists that come out kind of like alongside you, more or less. But yeah, his is like hella out in front of you, so that's cool. But another thing is this. Oh hey. Oh, that was a little. Oh hey. See that hit? Oh. Oh hey, look, that hit. Oh look, that hit. Like, the fact that I can say, oh look, that hit before, and it, boom, and I can still combo it, that is an insane amount of hit stun. Like, the amount of hit stun that this does is absurd. If I can combo that late, I can just, like, the fact that that worked, I actually didn't think that was going to work. That's how insane the amount of hit stun it is. I'm not exactly sure what the hit stun is, but the fact that it's enough for me to like sit here and go, oh, it's crazy amount of hit stun. And the block stun is very similar. Now I don't have exactly a good way to show you that, because I don't think there's a way to set block reversal. I'm gonna look real quick. No, it's not enemy settings. We have guard all, but there's no. Yeah, there's nothing that says like guard reversal or anything. So, is there anything here? No. Okay. So there's not really a great way to show you, but I will tell you, if you use that assist on a block string, you can pretty much instant air dash to the other side of them, and they still can't press a button. It's crazy how much block and hit stun that thing has, and that's why that's hella cheap. On top of that, of course, it works in combos or whatever. So whatever, it works in combos. You can do big combos with it, of course. Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna work, but whatever. You can do big combos with it too. It works just like any other, pretty much, assist will work. But that hit stun and block stun is really, really cheap. So that's number 4. Number 5, we call Android 16 back in, is the one that you've all been waiting for, 5H. Now, why is 5H cheap? Well, first of all, that just hit half screen. That's pretty impressive. I know it's even more impressive. If this is full screen, I'm going to take 2 steps. That hits, what, 80% of the screen? It has extremely far reach, and it has a really good hitbox to hurtbox ratio. It is upsetting how good this move is. I almost doubt that it will. I almost have no doubt in my mind that this move will get nerfed. There's no way that this move remains as good as it is, because hitting you from there, it seems insane to me. On the other hand, though, or I should say, on top of that, I'm gonna mash mediums here, just so you can see, right? So let me. I'm mashing mediums. So if I mash these mediums, they're gonna come out. I got hit. Oh no. There's like a certain timing to it, but it has armor. So in certain situations, you're actually... Whoops, that's not what I wanted. There, right there. So for instance, say you're Adult Gohan. Adult Gohan, from the start of the round, can hit you with 5M or 2M. Say you try to 5M me, and I try to 5H you, right? I'm going to hit you, regardless if I beat you to it, or if I simply just eat the first hit of your medium, because I will. That's what's insane about it. I want to time this correctly. Whatever. You already seen it once, you get it. But also, I could do this. I did not mean to call Gohan. Okay. So you can see that. I'm gonna I'm gonna time this as well as I can. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I'm so bad at timing this. It's kind of insane. I'm also pressing a lot of random buttons right now. I went right through it. You saw that it started up. Boom. I don't care. I don't care. Boom. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. This button's insane. Don't do it. It also lets you, like I said, you can start the round with 5M, 2M, and still get a combo from that far away. No jump cancel needed. And then I can, and then I go like this, 50%, mix up, get hit with that, and with one bar and one mix-up, you have less than 10% of your health left. And if I went for a 3-bar there, assuming that I was starting maybe that in mid-round instead of like at the start of the game, assuming I have 3 meters there, you're dead. You are dead. Or even 2 meters might kill you. But you are dead. This character is hella cheap in a lot of ways, but those 5 things, I think to me, are the 5 cheapest things he has. And it's my belief that every character has at least 5 cheap things. So this was 5 cheap things. This was Android 16, and I'm Dan, signing off. Later.